Hi, good morning guys. So today we are going to be discussing the second group of organs responsible for your stress response. And there's a hormonal buddy system happening here between your hypothalamus, the pituitary, and your adrenal glands. And the reason I want to talk about this is that a lot of people in general, I think society has kind of trained us to believe that hormones really only impact our mood, our menstrual cycles, and things of that nature. So when I say that my clinical focus is on treating hormonal conditions, people think that I only work with women, and they think that I only deal with basically everything that has to do with reproductive health in one manner or another, and that's just not the case. So the endocrine system is functioning on so many levels, which is why I wanted to do this little mini video series. So like I said, we're going to be talking about the HPA axis. So starting from the top, you have your hypothalamus, and your hypothalamus releases a releasing hormone that talks to your pituitary gland. And then your pituitary gland is going to release ACTH, which is adrenocorticotropic hormone. And that ACTH is going to trigger your adrenal glands, which are two little glands that sit on top of each of your kidneys, to secrete some stress hormones, namely cortisol and adrenaline. Now, when this is your stress response, and this happens no matter what is going on in your life that is stressful. So originally, centuries ago, this response would have been triggered by running from a bear, running from another member of a different tribe that is chasing you down and literally trying to kill you. Unfortunately, this response hasn't really modified itself over the years. So no matter whether you are running from a bear or running from that text message from your boss at 8:30 a.m. saying you're late for the meeting, where the heck are you? Or waking up to a screaming infant, your stress response is the same on a hormonal level. And it absolutely wreaks havoc through your entire system. It throws everything off. And we have lots of data and research that is showing us that this kind of constant level of stimulus and being on guard and always being ready for that next attack to come around the corner, again, whether it's your boss knocking on your office door asking you, whether that project is done, or whether it's being a stay-at-home mom and having some anxiety about, my husband's coming home and I don't even know, I thought today that I would get X, Y, and Z done, and nothing's done, and there's toys all over the floor, and we have no food in the house because I didn't have time to do the groceries. Whatever the case may be, if you have a certain level of anxiety and stress going on in you, that response is the same, and we have lots of data that has showed and proven that this ongoing level of stress that we don't actually need triggers a whole different cascade of chronic disease manifestations, such as heart disease and stroke. And these are major players in terms of mortality, not only for men. Often we think about heart disease and stroke in men. These are major killers for women as well. And I don't like to use that word. I'm not trying to fearmonger you guys, but this is something we need to pay attention to, and we need to recognize that this stress response has to go. It doesn't have to go, I shouldn't put it that way, because cortisol is something that we need in our day-to-day life to help us function. Cortisol, for example, a peak in cortisol is going to wake you up in the morning, and we need that. So cortisol is kind of a necessary evil, but we need it at a certain threshold point. We don't need to be constantly having our system think that we are running from a bear. And there are a number of things that we can do on a dietary, lifestyle, supplementation, and through physical activity level that can assist you in really modifying these levels so that they're not constantly high. And that's something that we are going to address in the Curated Kickstart. Another piece of this that I find is that we get this issue with cortisol and adrenaline layered on top often of the blood sugar regulation issue that we discussed in the previous video. So when you're not monitoring and keeping those blood sugar levels stable, your body not only thinks that it's running from a bear, but it thinks it's doing it while starving. So this is kind of an issue and a lifestyle issue that is layered one on top of the other on top of the other, and causes and wreaks havoc in your hormonal system. So hopefully that helped you understand how stress relates to an impact on your hormones on a day-to-day level. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please post them below this video or send me a private message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day, you guys. What is it today? Tuesday. I hope you had a wonderful long weekend. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Take care. Bye.